Gazprom, Russia's state-owned energy company, has cut off supplies to many EU countries, including Poland, Romania, Bulgaria, Finland, and the Netherlands, for refusing to pay for gas in rubles. Germany, the Czech Republic, Italy, Austria, and Slovakia are also seeing lower gas delivery quantities, raising concerns about gas supply security. As a result of the reduction, several EU countries are considering burning more carbon-intensive coal to safeguard electricity supply for next winter. Germany, Austria, and the Netherlands announced emergency steps this weekend to deal with reduced Russian gas flows, including the probable use of coal-fired power stations to generate energy. That was not the intended course of action by the government. A return to coal would contradict existing climate policies in Amsterdam, Vienna, and Berlin. Some authorities are concerned about the long-term impact such a decision might have on Europe's attempts to combat climate change. Germany says it is restarting some coal-fired power facilities, while Austria is retrofitting an existing coal-fired power plant. Authorities in the Netherlands have relaxed production limitations on coal-fired power facilities. When it came to power late last year, the new German coalition government comprised of the center-left Social Democrats, Greens, and Liberal Free Democrats prioritized climate policy, seeking to push the country's coal exit date to 2030. Its lofty goals include achieving net-zero greenhouse gas emissions by 2045. However, Russia's war in Ukraine has disrupted plans due to uncertainties regarding Moscow's natural gas supply restrictions. Coal is still Germany's second-largest source of electricity, and the conflict has provided an opportunity to extend its life. To reduce gas usage, less gas will be utilized to generate power. Instead, more coal-fired power plants will be required. The move, which follows last week's public appeal to households and businesses to save energy, was described as bitter but necessary to reduce gas use by the country's economics minister, Robert Habeck. Nonetheless, the German government stated that it remained committed to phasing out coal by 2030. According to Lisa Badum, chair of the German Parliament's Climate Change Committee and a former Green Party spokeswoman, Germany's plan to boost coal consumption also responds to the country's vow to fill sufficient gas storage capacity for next winter. According to Badum, Germany's current storage capacity is 51% full. However, EU countries have pledged to ensuring that storage facilities achieve a minimum of 80% of their capacity by November. Badum noted at a seminar on Monday that Germany prefers coal to nuclear power since nuclear power facilities are designed to be shut down and cannot be switched on and off continuously. The nuclear phase-out in Europe's largest economy is anticipated to be completed by the end of the year. Austria, for its part, confirmed on Sunday an agreement with the state-owned utility Verbund to use the country's final coal-fired power plant, which is now closed, to generate coal-fired electricity in an emergency. Meanwhile, the Netherlands announced on Monday that it will relax all production limitations for coal-fired power plants from 2002 to 2024 in order to cope with a reduction in Russian gas supply. This means that coal-fired power stations can run at full capacity again instead of the maximum of 35%, Dutch Climate and Energy Minister Rob Jetten said, adding that the country currently has no major gas shortage. The European Commission stated in the REPowerEU strategy that transitioning away from Russian fossil fuels may force many countries to use coal facilities for longer than envisaged. The EU executive, on the other hand, has stressed that all EU member states remain committed to the EU climate law's 2030 emission reduction target. Other countries, such as Poland and Bulgaria, have already stated that they will continue to utilize coal to preserve the country's energy system stability. Although, things were beginning to shift in Poland, the EU's most coal-dependent country. According to the national grid operator, renewable energy met a record-breaking 67% of the country's electricity demand, and during the day, demand for coal-fired power dropped considerably. Overall, renewable electricity generation in Poland increased from 6.9% in 2010 to 16.9% last year. It is a significant improvement, although still far from adequate. However, while this may appear to be a prudent approach in the near term, the issue of climate change is a completely different beast. The EU and Europe as a whole are confronting an energy bargain in which they must meet their own energy needs while rapidly transitioning to renewables. Coal is a major contributor to climate change and air pollution, and extending the lifespan of coal-fired power plants in Europe will almost certainly raise carbon emissions in the short run. Nonetheless, experts suggest that the Ukraine conflict has also boosted commitments to a rapid energy transition away from fossil fuels. Governments are doing wherever they can to ensure that the lights stay on this winter and to secure energy supplies given the current threat. But this is being matched with increased ambition, Charles Moore, from the energy think tank Ember, told EU Observer. This is a critical step according to Moore, in the United Kingdom, where the government has decided to extend the lifespan of coal-fired power plants during the winter while boosting the offshore renewable objective. Similarly, the EU's shift toward importing mostly liquefied natural gas has been connected to an increase in the EU's renewable energy mandate. However, there are still questions about the influence of these short-term initiatives on climate legislation and international obligations. The UN said on Sunday that the only way to ensure lasting energy security is to accelerate the rollout of renewables. The only true path to energy security, stable power prices, prosperity and a livable planet lies in abandoning polluting fossil fuels, especially coal, said UN Chief Antonio Guterres. Renewables are the peace plan of the 21st century, he added. So can renewables save Europe? Only time will tell, and it is more dependent on the actions Europe takes to facilitate said renewables. On Monday, European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen advised EU member states not to revert to the use of fossil fuels such as coal. Instead, she urged countries to continue to prioritize huge investment in renewables. We have to make sure that we exploit this crisis to move forward and not to revert to polluting fossil fuels, von der Leyen told European journalists. She went on to declare that the Commission was doing everything it could to ensure that the EU could look back and say, "We made the correct decisions." Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more environmental news.